Some people have a certain image of success. There's no image to success. There's no limit to success. You can literally do or be anything. I do believe that the sky is limitless to the plethora of opportunities that you are given. I am Ericka Mcintosh. In the world, I go by Star Ericka. It's kind of like my pen name. I am from Orlando, Florida originally. I went to Robbinswood in about 2008, 2009-ish, somewhere up to like 2010. Robbinswood is kind of like my home, this is kind of like my home forever. It's like my favorite school. Of course, my middle school. I went to Robbinswood all 3 of my years of middle school. After Robbinswood, I went to Evans High School. I ended up graduating number 28 out of 436 students. I graduated with a 4.6 GPA. I then ventured to UCF. When I was in the IB program. I started in the IB program at Robbinswood, and then I ended up being accepted in the IB program in high school. Because of my efforts in the IB program at Evans, I ended up starting UCF in their top 10% like accelerated program. So I was a sophomore when I got there because of my scores on the IB exam. Even in UCF, I changed my major about 3 times. I ended up graduating with a pre-law major and a minor in business. After that, I ended up buying a house at 24 years old in April of 2020. I've done a lot of things in my lifetime. I was a correctional officer for 2 years, beginning in 2018 until 2020 after I bought my house. And being a correctional officer, it was very, very motivational. I worked with male inmates, and I mean, just being able to transform their lives, being able to inspire them, being able to just be a light in a dark place, I think that kind of was my healing there. My most influential teachers, I don't think I can have a most. Some teachers that influenced me was Miss Bickerstaff in the Diva Girls program. Her and Miss Fulford kind of came up with that the year I was in like 8th grade. And being a Diva Girls was pretty awesome. It was kind of like a family sistership. So I can definitely say I had some great friends in Diva Girls, and it was led by Miss Bickerstaff and Miss Fulford. Aside from that, other teachers that kind of impacted me, Miss Stark, who's now Miss Rasco, and other teachers like Miss Tisby, Miss Reed, but ultimately, my most influential 2 teachers was Mr. Waits and Miss Baptiste, who is now Mrs. Teague. Mr. Waits has always been like a father figure, even till today. He's always been encouraging. He's always been like right there. He's always has an encouraging word. No matter what you're doing, he's gonna make sure that you're on the right path. If you're steering off, he's gonna be that dad to tell you like, that's not what you're gonna do. Miss Baptiste contributed to my success story. I remember when I had my first press release with Yahoo Finance. The first person I wanted to tell was Miss Baptiste, simply because she put me in the mindset of no matter what I'm going through in the outside world, like my success is my success. No matter what I'm going through in family, like in my family or in my personal life, like keeping focused no matter what adversity is against you is how you're gonna succeed. Because most of the time, you're your own stumbling block, because we tend to let, as people, we let everything and everyone around us be an obstacle, and we just don't wanna get over it, or we just wanna just kind of like wallow in our own pity. But with her, she just was always that push. Like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure you get to school, just do your work, don't worry about what's going on. And I literally kept that mentality all the way through high school. Like I said, I graduated top of my class in high school, and then I ended up graduating from UCF. And I always kept that momentum that she instilled in me. So I always say, I thank God for her. I'm just very grateful for Miss Baptiste or Mrs. Teague. What do you want your story to tell about you? Are you gonna be that person that just kind of gives up every time an obstacle comes your way? Or are you gonna be that person that's gonna push through for your dreams? You should be an example. You can be the first millionaire of your family. You could be the first person to break generational curses that have been brought into your family. Just because everyone else is doing it in your family don't mean you have to do it. It doesn't mean that you have to be that. If your family is downing you, if your family doesn't support you, that's okay, because you have you. You have to have the mentality that what you're doing is for you and not for anyone else. It's not for anyone else's leisure. It's not for anyone else's pleasure. It's your success story. So what success means to you is all that matters. Choosing to go to college was a choice, and it was one of the best choices I've made, simply because knowledge is something that you can't, it's invaluable. When you have the more knowledge you have, the more wisdom you have, the more powerful you are. The more knowledge you have, the more things that you're going to be able to do, simply because you know how to do them. It's like knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and the more that you know, the more that you learn. You always have to be able to learn, no matter how young you are, how old you are. You always have to have that mindset that you can learn something else. There's somebody that knows a little bit more than you. So when you're looking at people to be inspired by, you need to look at somebody that's doing better than you, or doing something that you want to do, not to envy them because they're doing it or being jealous because they're doing it. Simply just saying, you know what, I want to be like that millionaire. Now, how did they get there? And just simply knowing that your process is not going to be the same. But I literally follow millionaires because I want to be a millionaire. My strategy is I want to follow and look up to people that are actually doing great things. I want to look up to those that are around me that are examples for me. So like, and it all starts in education, from elementary to middle school to high school to college. As you go, each level gets higher and higher, and it gets harder and harder. Each grade you go up, it gets a little bit harder. But as long as you push through, you're gonna be able to do everything that you want to do. I literally just got a brand new Camaro. Now I'm able to drive. I got a brand new truck, just because of the knowledge I have, the hard work, the effort that I put in. I don't wake up every day, get out of bed at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock when the day is almost over. I get up in the morning every day. Even though I'm my own boss, I still get up and work hard because I'm not where I want to be. I started my credit repair journey simply by repairing my own credit. I repaired my own credit first. I ended up buying my house, and then I realized I had the secret formula to home buying. And I kind of went from there, and I kind of got my first clients with family members and friends, and then I created a business from it. I put my 2 weeks in on just faith. I didn't have enough clients to pay my bills. I didn't have enough clients to do anything, but I just knew that God told me to move. And when it's uncomfortable, when it feels like something, if you're comfortable, then it might not be the place for you. I never believe in being complacent. I always feel like once you get uncomfortable, you start feeling like, I don't want to go to work today. You start feeling like, I'm going to call out. And I always believe in being the employee that you want to hire. So that's kind of like how I always went by. That's kind of like what I always did. When I worked at the prison, I felt like any job I had, I was going to be the best at it. I don't care if I don't want to be there. I don't care if I don't want to listen. My job is to be a great employee, so that when I become an entrepreneur, I'll hire great employees. So I came in one day, I quit my job, I told them I was not coming back, and then that first week of entrepreneurship, I had no clients, I had no appointments. I didn't know if this was the right thing to do or if I had made the right decision, but that little bit of faith took me to where I am today. In about 5 months, I made 2 times my yearly salary, and I knew I had won. To anybody, any student, where you are right now is not where you're going to end. So just know that there's no limit to who you can be, what you can be, where you can end up at. You could be that doctor, you could be that lawyer, you could also be that millionaire. You could be the next person to own something like Amazon. Don't put any type of limitations on yourself. Don't let anyone limit you or your mind frame to what you can be and what you can become. There's no limit, and you can do it. Trust me.